Centurions versus Treble winners. I've built them here. Who's your favourite? And then I did a poll on Twitter. And I'm going to unveil the results
afterwards.
I've actually done
my favourite.
There's a breakdown of this coming out on my channel because I just wanted to actually explore kind of in more detail. Some of the numbers are fascinating, and actually when you look at some of the, I mean, you know what? Let me just get you some of the notes I had from that here. Just some of the stuff here, for example. In terms of their XG in the Premier League, these two individual seasons, 78.6 to 78.7. I mean, it's almost identical. Clean sheets, actually the Centurions had more than the Treble winners. The amount of times that in the Premier League they scored 4 or more goals, the Centurions 9 times. Treble winners actually 10 times, which I would have thought the other way around.
I would have thought the other way around.
So some really interesting numbers there. But in terms of passing stats, Centurions come out on top. I'll reveal in percentages where the votes went, but
you got to give me that box midfield first.
Okay.
You got to give me that box midfield.
Let's put them in their proper position.
That's integral to what Man City have done. My favourite. Well, I'm a massive fan of Leroy Sané. Huge fan. Everything from his goal scoring to the way that he was able to, you know, take people on that left-hand side. A left footer on the left wing, we don't see it too often. You go back to Ryan Giggs, you go back to Gareth Bale, you don't see it too often. And when you see it, it is sometimes a thing of beauty. And I did enjoy watching Leroy Sané. I thought he made some brilliant runs, crashing the box from the back post to finish. He's just a very efficient player. Sterling was incredibly efficient on the right-hand side, doing a similar thing, crashing the box, scoring a load of goals. Aguero versus Haaland, you're talking about who do I enjoy watching more, it's still always going to be Aguero.
Agreed.
As much as Haaland is an incredible striker, he's one of the best strikers this generation's ever seen, and he's going to break records and he's going to probably win Ballon d'Ors. I'm sure him versus Mbappe is going to begin. I'm still taking on the eye watching Aguero a lot more.
I love Aguero, one of my favourite strikers.
And I've still got De Bruyne, and you're giving me now you're giving me now David Silva, and that guy is just a wizard. He's an unbelievable player to watch. So I'm probably leaning towards the Centurions in terms of watching them, because I still believe from an entertainment standpoint, this team is a lot more easy on the eye. But that team knew how to manage certain moments away at the Bernabeu, away at the Allianz Arena, against Manchester United in the first ever Manchester Derby Cup final, even against Inter Milan, when this is an Inter Milan team that when you go through the 11 is still quite strong. They brought Lukaku and they tried to mix it up. Inzaghi's got a brilliant cup record. They still go and win that. So there's a reason why that team's done the treble. And I think it's because they can be at times a little bit more passive or a little bit more boring in the sense of managing a game and not going full throttle. Whereas this team, I know you're saying that this team actually scored more goals, like more 4-0. But this team just
more games with 4 or more goals scored.
These lot were hectic. It felt like anyway it was just a rush constantly.
Well, they scored across the whole across the Centurion season. They scored 106 goals to 94. They actually conceded 27 to 33. So actually they conceded less goals. But I also think it's a slightly unfair comparison, only because this has been a transition year. So they've ended the last 2-3 months as this side. They haven't been this side all year. Whereas Man City, for the whole 38 game stint, were this goal scoring attacking machine. I give the Centurions the edge. The result on Twitter, with about 1,280 votes, 51% to 49%, the Centurions.
Okay. I mean, it's so close. But yeah, I mean, I think the big difference as well is Ruben Diaz. You look at what he's done since he's come into this City team, and him coming back into this team after the injury, I think it was as well this season. It's a final against Chelsea, it's a semi-final against Real Madrid, and it's now a win against Inter Milan. He's been outrageously good, and he's brought that leadership into that back line as well that maybe they were lacking at times when Company left. But yeah, it's tough because you've got De Bruyne. I think David Silva for me.
I love David Silva.
David Silva is just so. He can never be rated the way he should be. He's an unbelievable footballer.
I agree.
So good, just intelligent, just knitted everything together. Brilliant little nutmegs here and there, give and goes, wonderful range of passing, come with a goal every now and then. I remember one time he overplayed so much when he should have just tapped it in, and he still was trying to find an extra pass because he's just that insane. But yeah, you're still giving me De Bruyne, Silva, Sané. I love it.
Gundogan was actually part of this.
I'm trying to think who in this team am I taking to get in here? It's probably Diaz, maybe to get in, maybe over Laporte.
Let's do it. You know what? Let's have a bit of fun.
Let's make a combined team. Delph. But Man City don't really have any left backs in the team.
I would take him out and put Ake.
Okay, yeah.
What's mad is Cancelo would have been in this without a shadow of a doubt last season.
Walker's staying in for a Kanji. Fernandinho versus Rodri.
Rodri for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Rodri over Fernandinho. Yeah. Fernandinho was the dark arts.
I would.
The little moments of you should have been booked, but you didn't. He was basically like Makalele on steroids.
Well, we can put it to the vote.
Because do you know why? Fernandinho was also quite box to box. Like, I think at Shakhtar he may have been a box-to-box midfielder, and then they turned him in, and they also signed Fernando, his Shakhtar friend as well. But those two are just they're so close.
I give it to Rodri personally. I love Fernandinho. Fernandinho was a box-to-box converted DM. Rodri is everything I want in a DM, even though Fernandinho did it brilliantly.
I'm not changing these two.
No, agreed.
Yeah. And the striker, I'm sorry, I'm keeping Aguero over Haaland as well. Just because, for me, Aguero just... He brought more as a striker in other areas that obviously Haaland... do you know what? Haaland, to be fair to him, over the season, he's got better and better. They were using him quite a lot for build-up play against United. They were fizzing the ball into him and whatnot to, use him as a focal point. And he has, had a little thing with De Bruyne where he's laid him off a few times. But Aguero, for me, is just... I mean, listen, he's...
I think for pure enjoyment, I go with that as well.
And he's obviously... His career's done now, and he's literally one of the... He's got the best minutes ratio to goal, isn't it, in the Premier League history? So yeah.
Wow.
I think this is the most. Let us know in the comments. Fernandinho versus Rodri is the biggest contentious one, maybe.
I think if Cancelo had been a regular this year, I think he'd probably get left back.
Is there a shout for Bernardo over Sterling?
There might be. Or Mahrez.
I think Bernardo's a better player than Sterling. Yeah. Definitely. Okay. And I'm actually gonna go with Bernardo purely because I know De Bruyne can overlap, Kyle Walker can overlap. So I don't really need Sterling holding the width.
Cool.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
Then I think that's I'm taking Sane over Grealish, unfortunately.
All right.
I love Sane. They can interchange. Yeah, I'm taking that.
Pretty special. Final question, yes or no? Guardiola, the greatest of all time?
For me, yeah.
Yeah,
for me. For me too. Purely because I think he's not even done. So even if you don't agree, I think the conversation will become very uncomfortable very, very soon, if it's not already. Yes. When he's said and done, I think he'll be classified as the GOAT.
All right. Well, there's our Man City Centurion and Treble team, combined 11. Let us know what yours would be.
Welcome back to the Forever Arsenal podcast.
Black, white, young, old, Lee's on there. Disabled, abled, man. Well, it doesn't.
Smith Rowe didn't get a minute yesterday, not a minute that needs minutes. Where's he going to get his minutes from now? Get your notifications on, ladies and gentlemen. Tactical's out tomorrow.
I think the idea of Mesut Ozil was better than the actual reality of Ozil at Arsenal.
Your mic, not turn your camera off.
For the audio listeners, Lee's in pieces. Lee's in pieces.